Hello, and welcome back to Satisfactory Outpost in the Desert. I'm currently zipping along in a hypertube out to the oil field to take a look at the expanded power grid that I've set up between episodes. Alright, we had 30 fuel generators initially, and I've just doubled that to 60, which I think is about the capacity of our supply lines until we get to Mark III miners and Mark V belts. And by supply lines, I mean convected coal, essentially, since the miners and belts don't affect heavy oil and turbo fuel. Okay, so this was our first 30 over here, and I've just gone back to back to put up another 30. That raises to 60 fuel generators all burning turbo fuel. Increases the capacity of our power grid to 11,325 megawatts. That's a really nice buffer. Now I don't have any qualms, or I don't feel like I need to be cautious about expanding our electronic outpost. And in fact, I kind of want to start hooking more machines up to the power grid. Machines that have been built previously but left unconnected because of, either power restraints or belt capacity restraints. Now we can start upgrading those belts and hooking those machines to the power grid to increase our throughput in our production. One other quick change that I made here. I've added a few of the larger fluid buffers just to give us a little bit, just to give us some breathing room, really, if something goes wrong. So this is, we had two pipes coming up from the lower floor where the turbo fuel is being made, and one pipe is feeding these 30 generators. The other pipe is feeding the first 30. Actually, each pipe can supply 60 total eventually, so that's important to note. But what I've done here is I've put two of the big fluid buffers. Let's see if they're full. Not quite yet. That's nice. So the excess fluid that's being produced, it'll keep these refineries making the turbo fuel running as we fill up these buffers here, and they're going to be merged here in the center. And then I've got a pump that will pump the fluid up, the turbo fuel up, to a second pair of industrial fluid containers. And then from there, from the second pair, the upper pair, it's just pumped right back down to the pipes. This is just going to give us, each fluid container has 1,200 cubic meters. So that's 4,800 cubic meters, and I've done that again on the other side, the far end of these lines of fuel generators. You can see I put a pump, a fluid pump. I think it's 10 deep. Like, these are rows of 15. These are 4 rows of 15. So we'll go down 10 fuel generators, and then here's a pump just to keep things moving. There should be another pump over here. Yep, same distance. And I think what we'll do once we need to is I'll create another level on top of these, directly on top of these fuel generators, and then we'll just put another 60 right directly on top of them on that additional level. But the idea with these fluid buffers is that when you're using fuel or turbo fuel for energy, that's all being produced, in our case, from heavy oil residue, which is a byproduct of plastic and rubber. So if your plastic and rubber lines stop working because the storage containers are full of plastic and rubber, then you also stop producing the heavy oil residue, which means you stop producing turbo fuel, which means your fuel generators run dry and your power shuts off. And when the power shuts off, it's a huge ordeal because you need power to power the refineries to make the turbo fuel to uh, feed your fuel generators that supply the power. So you have to like find power from a separate source to feed the refineries that are made in the refineries that are making the turbo fuel. And it's a big hassle. So these buffers kind of give you a little bit of breathing room. Like if the refineries down below shut off because of like a byproduct issue, then these buffers can continue to feed the fuel generators while you identify and rectify that problem. Is this the best way to place buffers? I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of info on the best way to place the buffers, but I like the system. I think it looks relatively clean, and it should give you, I don't know, I haven't done the math on this, maybe like half an hour of time to fix the problem if you identify it and recognize it early. Now let's head back to our electronic outpost. I think this is the tube that I want. So between episodes, in addition to doubling our power grid there, I constructed all of the floors and the walls we'll need for the rest of the electronic outpost. It's tall. It's like 5 levels tall plus the roof and the train underneath. And I also set up 2 more trains within our storage hub. We'll take a look at those. It's going to be a 3rd receiving train. That's not really important right now, but that's the train that we'll use to collect all the products from our electronic outpost and bring it back to the hub. And then a 2nd shipping train. And that's of more immediate concern because we're going to need plastic to make circuit boards and copper sheets to make AI limiters. And that's, I think that's the first step on the to-do list this episode, is to get those products automated. And the oval is really far away. It's quite a trip. Okay, let's take a look at these trains. This is the receiving level. So we've got, it's the same setup as we've seen before. Just gonna quickly rename this to receiving C. And we'll use this station to collect the quick wire, the AI limiters, these not circuit boards, but high-speed connectors, computers, and supercomputers. All 5 of those will be picked up and delivered to this platform, and then we'll store them in storage containers on the far wall there, the north wall. And on the shipping level, it's this was our 2nd shipping train station. So this will be shipping B. I think that's the name we chose, right? Shipping A? Yeah, shipping B. And this is the train that will deliver products to the electronic factory. First and foremost, for this episode, plastic for circuit boards. Plastic's also used for supercomputers later, so that's important. And the copper sheets for the AI limiters. This will also deliver silica that we need for the high-speed connectors. Let's take a look at that recipe, because there's something else. It's silica and quick wire and something else. Okay, silica, quick wire, and circuit boards. Do we want to use silica, or do we want to use... Yeah, we definitely want to use the silica because it's much more efficient. Even though you're making a few less per minute, you're saving yourself a lot of quick wire, and we're already consuming so much quick wire, it's absurd. So this train will deliver plastic, copper sheets, silica, and then we'll need crystal oscillators for our computers because we're making the crystal computer alternate recipe. I guess we can go ahead and name this train. I haven't done that yet. This will be the shipping bee. Locomotive. Okay. I haven't built the train yet for the receiving sea because we're not quite there yet. This next step is going to be it's a little bit tricky because of the way that, I mean, you know, right now we've got 8 belts of quick wire, and once all the machines are connected and we're at the Mark III miners, those belts will have 600 quick wire a minute each. So, you know, it's a lot to manage, and they're going to go to different floors of the factory, right? But the floor that we're going to be addressing immediately is well, let's just get to the outpost and take a look. Better to show than to tell, right? So you can see the outpost, pretty big. Like I think it's as tall as the storage hub, the storage depot, but there are more floors. The floors just aren't as tall because they don't need to accommodate trains. So once this is boxed in, if I decide to box the trains in on the roof, and I think I will, I think that'll be cool. It'll be taller than the storage depot. So here's the first floor. We're just smelting the Caterium ore into Caterium ingots. And I'm just going to go ahead and quickly... Did I use just these Mark I power poles? Oh, these are Mark II. Good. I'm going to add a few more now that, you know, our power grid can support it. Even though I think the belt capacity is probably going to be the limiting factor here. Sorry, it's bounced around like a pinball. Just gonna hook up all of these smelters, and then we'll go up to the next level and hook up all of the constructors making quick wire as well. Because we need so much quick wire. It kind of blew my mind how much quick wire we actually need. Like, I think in my last playthrough, this was an update too, I think I only had like 4 belts of quick wire, and I thought that was absurd. But now we've gone from 4 to 8, so, you know, kind of longing for the days when you only needed 4 belts of quick wire. Man. Let's just switch to the jetpack here. Here we go. Let's get our Mark II power pole. There we go. Autosave hitch. Okay. So all of our smelters are on now, and we'll head up to the next level where we're making quick wire. Okay, so we've got, I think this is what, 4 rows of 20 each. But each row is kind of split into half, and so we've got 8 belts coming off of the outputs here, 4 in each direction. But most of these are unpowered, and let's just go ahead and quickly fix that. Let's power them all up. I know that we don't have the belt capacity to justify it, but we'll do it now, and we'll know that we're making as many spools of quick wire as we can support. One's hooked up. This one. Okay. We also need to make sure that all of our 8 belts are receiving at least some of the quick wire. You can't just have it all at one end, because I think for the next level, like above us, we're going to need more than 4 belts of quick wire, so like 5 belts. Just need so much quick wire. Like, this isn't even using the recipe for the Caterium computer. That's why we're using the crystal computer. Okay, nearly done with these rows. No, that's wrong. This is a lot of machines. Okay, now you can just quickly check the LEDs. Oh, some more red. We missed a connection somewhere. Okay, there we go. Good. Now we'll quickly repeat that on these 2 rows. Trying to be as uniform as possible. Some of these may be space off from where they should be. can't connect two machines together. So it's going to be kind of tricky to use these belts on the next floor in a way that looks uniform or symmetrical and clean, because we need like 3 1/3 belts for AI limiters, and then like a little less than 1.5 belts for the circuit boards. Okay. No more red, it's all green or yellow. Why are these out? They're yellow because their outputs are full, which is fine. Alright. Look at these rolls of, or these spools of quick wire being produced. Looks pretty good. Okay, so we see the spools of quick wire on all 4 belts, and that's what we wanted. Let's just find a power pole. Check our power grid. Not even at the halfway point anymore, so got plenty of power to play with. And now we're on the 3rd floor. This is the floor where we'll make circuit boards and AI limiters, and I haven't planned this out at all, so we're just gonna figure it out as we go. I do know that we need 22 assemblers making circuit boards and 20 assemblers making AI limiters, so that's a good place to start, right? And also, something to consider are the number of belts you'll need. So that I know that I need 1+ belts for circuit boards and 3+ belts of quick wire for AI limiters. Okay. So the quick wire will be coming in from either the west or the east. That's where they will be belted up from the floor below. And we also need plastic and copper sheets. Those will be bolted down from the roof or the train docks. Maybe we should set up the train first, and just we'll have a better idea of where those belts are coming down. So many floors. Okay. Oh no. Okay, this was not great planning. It just occurred to me that while I have the rails coming in for the train to dock, I don't have the rails going out. But that's not a big issue right now. I can quickly correct that. Actually, is this which rail is this? Oh man. Let's just do this. Okay, this is the rail that comes from the outport of the storage depot, and it looks like it's heading to, can't really tell. Oh, that's the iron outpost. Okay. So we could just connect just run the rails the length of this platform and then hook it right back into this rail system, and that should work fine. Then we may need to do a few adjustments, like near the storage depot, but because of the way we've got everything set up, where any incoming rail can hit any station, we don't need to be too careful about where we connect our stations in the outpost to the rail network. The only consideration may be here that this this rail right here, it's going to go from the second floor, the receiving floor of the outpost, and it's just going to go in a loop there. But we can always just have the rail split upward to the third floor if we need to. Okay, so because we'll be producing products in this outpost that requires products from other outposts or the storage hub, we need 2 train stations on the roof of the electronic outpost. It doesn't really matter where we start them. So I think we should try to center it, right? So let's consider the products. We're going to be bringing in 4 products: plastic, crystal oscillators, silica, and copper sheets. And we'll be shipping out 5 products. And that's quick wire, high-speed connectors, AI limiters, computers, and supercomputers. Okay. So one train station, the incoming train station, will be, we'll have the 4 engines, obviously, plus 4 freight stations. So that's 8 foundations, plus 8 foundations. So 16 total. And the second train station, the one that ships the products, this will be receiving C. Right now, none of those freight cars are claimed, so it'll be 4 engines plus 5 freight cars, so that's 8 plus 10 foundations. So one station needs to be 16 long, and the other needs to be 18 long. How long is this? How many foundations is this outpost? Ten. 20. Okay, 26. Okie dokie. So 26 minus 16 is 10. So we can have 5 on each side for one station, and 4 on each side for the other. Or we could have it might look better just to have the train stations on the same level, aligned with each other. And so we'll just plan off of having 4 foundations of buffer in front of both train stations, and then a little more buffer in the back of one. I think it's better to have them aligned. I think that'll look better. Okay, so our rail is going to be in the center of this row of foundations. Let's put rail on our hotbar again. One, 2, 3, 4 foundations. Okay. And over here, Okay. Now, it doesn't really matter which station is receiving and shipping. Kind of like to mimic my other stations, and I'm trying to think. The shipping on the left, the station on the left is shipping. The station on the right is receiving. So let's make that note right now. Electronic. Oh, this would be incoming. To use the right nomenclature. And this will be electronic outgoing. Alright. That part's done. Now, empty platforms. 3 for the next 3 engines. And this is outgoing, so we need 5 freight stations. Freight platforms. 4, 5. These will all load because it's outgoing. Now we'll connect the rail. That should connect to the power grid. Okay. 2, 3. I'm out of concrete. It's no good. Okay, need to run back and get some concrete. So many. I need an express hypertube between the arrival floor and the roof, probably at some point. So the recipe for AI limiters is 25 copper sheets per minute plus 100 quick wire per minute. This is per assembler. Will produce 5 AI limiters. So with 20 of those assemblers, we're using 500 copper sheets per minute, 2,000 quick wire per minute to produce 100 AI limiters per minute. That seems like a lot, but we're going to need them. And we need that many because we are using, I want to say that we're using AI limiters in the making of our crystal oscillators. Let me find my note sheet for the quartz outpost. Maybe we're not using them. In fact, I don't think that we are. I think that we're just using them for our supercomputers, maybe? Nope, supercomputers we only need 37.5 AI limiters per minute. Why did I think we needed 100 AI limiters per minute? Okay, looking at my quartz sheet here. Oscillators. Okay, yeah, we are using the recipe that requires AI limiters. Is this a, yeah, autosave hitch? So that means we'll need, what, like almost 400 rubber per minute. Okay. Yep. That's a lot. But this oscillator setup will require, what did I say, like 56-ish per minute. That's why we need 100 AI limiters every minute. Let's grab some concrete. Just make sure that we've got all the other materials we need before we head back. Let's queue this up. So, 22 assemblers making circuit boards, and 20 making AI limiters. Okay, well, it's a good thing we're here. We needed a lot of things. All the things. Okay, that's enough. We'll need to get some rotors. I think I've got some in the storage box down there. Reinforced iron plates. Cables are on the bottom. Over here. Okay, and hopefully we can find some rotors. If not, we'll run over to the previous motor outpost. Okay, good. So I'm thinking that after the electronics outpost, I mean, we're not going to finish the electronics outpost before we have to go and start work on the crystal outpost. And then I'm thinking once we've unlocked tier 7, we'll have an aluminum outpost that, you know, creates the aluminum ingots, the alkali aluminum sheets, and probably also heat sinks and radio control units. And then we'll have a motor factory that makes the rotors, the stators, the motors, and also maybe turbo motors there too. I think that'll be a cool mix of like incoming and outgoing products for trains. That also makes sense because motors, turbo motors, that's not a stretch, you know. Okay, just burning through our time, haven't placed a single assembler. That's great. Okay, so first engine, second engine, third engine. Need an empty platform. Fourth engine. And now 4 freight platforms for 4 incoming products. And we connect our rail. And these are all set to unload. All right. So now here's the question. What to do with these products that are coming out? The products that are going in, you know, this will be determined by wherever they end up in the floors below. That'll be determined by the placement of those machines, but these products that are incoming kind of need to be strategic about. And I want to say that I set up the first car to be copper sheet and the second car to be plastic. We need both of those on the level we're working on now, which is the 3rd level, but we also need the plastic on the 5th level for supercomputers, because supercomputers are made with computers, AI limiters, high-speed connectors, and plastic. So 3 components that are made within this outpost, and also more plastic. And here's the interesting thing, right? Because we need 525 plastic per minute for supercomputers, and 275 plastic per minute for circuit boards. That's 800, which is just a little bit over the capacity for a Mark V belt. Mark V belt holds 780. I don't think it's worth, um, running a second belt just to make up that extra 20, plastic per minute. That's like 2.5%. I don't think it's worth it. So we're just gonna make do with the 780 and use one belt. And what I'm thinking is, we'll supply the plastic to our circuit boards first, and then we'll take the plastic that's remaining and belt it back up to supercomputers from the 3rd floor. So we'll just continue the belt from the let me start over. We'll belt the plastic from the train station here down to the 3rd floor to make circuit boards, and then continue the belt all the length of the 3rd floor, and then belt it back up to the 5th floor to supply the supercomputers. I think that'll work great. What we need to be careful about here is the positioning of our conveyor lifts so they don't conflict with each other. But because we've got like the 2 or 3 windows to work with, the window walls, conveyor walls, I think we can make that work pretty easily, even if we have to shift things around a little bit in the next episode or two. So let's just get these belts out and get started. Wasted a lot of time talking here. So this will be copper sheets. This will be plastic. I did a terrible job. Oh, no wonder this is the wrong output. Okay, let's not forget that we will also have silica and crystal oscillators coming out of the station. But for now, we're just working with plastic and copper sheets. And plastic will be in the top belt. Let's remember that. Come on. There we go. Let's just take a look. See if there are any conveyor belts that are going to be conflicting. Now we want to look at the 3rd floor. So 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor. This is quick wire coming out of the 2nd floor. Okay, so we can belt this down from right here without any conflicts. We'll try using a double window, we'll see how that works. And that'll be going right here. Actually, if we could have it go a little more central, that would be better, right? Let's do that. Let's try to get it to a more central window. Why is it like that? Weird opacity bug. Okay, better. So we're belting down. So you want to start at the top. I think I did that correctly. Looks good. Looks good. I don't really have any preference right now. A little bit of clipping. There we go. Okay, now let's go back down. I guess what we could just bring our train over, just so we can, you know, get a few items on the belt and see how it looks. This is shipping B. Let's make the next stop to be electronic incoming. Turn the autopilot on. Let's see if that activated the train here. Shipping B, it's on the way. Obviously it can't go back because we don't have any rail, but that's not important right now. We just want to get one shipment of plastic and copper sheets over to our outpost, just to get some products on the belts so that we can tell what we're working with here. I feel like we should have seen it already. Oh, you know what? We've got... This is interesting. We've got the rail coming up to this level from the receiving floor, but not one going down from the shipping floor. So it's going to make a loop and then re-enter the factory and come out. We can make that a little more efficient by just, you know, adding another rail split. Let's take a look at the map and see where we're at now. Okay, so it's a yeah. It had to make a loop to exit the third floor, loop around back onto the second floor, and now here it comes. That's cool. This is a cool train system. We've only got 10 minutes left in the episode. Got a lot to do in that 10 minutes. Oh, and of course, it never docked. So it's empty anyway, so it was a complete waste of time. That's great. crushing it. We should have had it dock at the station first to fill up. Just crushing it. Okay. So this is the third floor. We've got quick wire up there. Now we need to place our 42 machines. Let's see, the top belt was on the right here. The top belt was plastic. So we'll have circuit boards on this southern side. And one belt of plastic can supply all 22 of our circuit board assemblers. That's not a problem. But we will need more than one belt of quick wire. We'll need like 1.5 belts of quick wire to feed them. So what I'm tempted to do is just to bring up 2 belts. Yeah, let's do that. So quick wire, quick wire, quick wire. Here we go. Quick wire here. Quick wire here. So even though we're not going to need the full 2 belts, we're going to bring up 2 belts. And we'll bring up these 2 belts over here, as well as the 2 belts on the other side. Because we need 4 belts for our AI limiters. Yeah, this will work really well. The issue is we're going to have to combine all of the excess that we're not using, and we'll need to ship that somewhere. Because we need 3 full belts of quick wire for the high-speed connectors, and we're only going to have 2 full belts remaining, like the 2 belts that are right over in this area. So we'll have to combine, we'll have to merge the excess that we're not using here and ship that up. Not getting as much done this episode as I had wanted to, but hopefully we can at least get the setup started here. And then the next episode is going to be in the crystal outpost. So we've got to get some silica production going. Okay, let's grab an assembler. And this takes up more than 1 foundation. So I guess the question is, how many foundations do 20 assemblers take up? Let's see. Just put it on the hotbar there. I guess I should say only 10 because we'll go 10 on either side, right? It's on 10. Autosave hitch. Come on. That can't be right. Oh, I must have got a wall in there. There's a foundation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So the foundations. $13. We're at 26 foundations in length. Okay. So, what is that? 6.5 to center it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Is this good? Let's see. Okay, that would be nice. We can merge these all in one direction, I believe, right? These are our AI limiters. Yeah. Total production's 100, so it's all in one belt easily. All right. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Didn't do a great job of starting, but it's centered enough. It's fine. Okay. So now the issue of the belts. Okay, I think I know what we're going to do here. No. There we go. Okay. So we'll have these are the AI limiters. They need the copper sheets, which are coming from this window. We'll have these just wrap around, like all the way over here. And then we're going to wrap this around. These. a little too far. So the copper sheets will just wrap around the top belt. To feed both sides. And then because we need so many, so much quick wire, we'll take a belt from each side, and the only like real challenge here is going to be how to collect the excess. Because each belt will have 600 quick wire on it, and it will feed 5 machines. One machine requires 100 quick wire, so each belt will have an excess of 100 quick wire. We can't just afford to, to throw away 400 quick wire per minute, so we'll have to merge that somehow. That shouldn't be too hard, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need a merger between these two. Okay, love it. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And then this is where we can collect our excess quick wire to ship it either to the storage hub or to the fourth floor, where we're making high-speed connectors. Okay, so this is all AI limiters. Copper sheets, quick wire. Then over here, we just need 22 assemblers for circuit boards. Okay, this was 20, so we'll start right around here is fine. And we'll just have 2 rows of 11. I guess we can also merge the same direction. That's fine. Okay, 11. And 11. Merging to the west. And this is even easier. Again, we'll have our plastic just wrapping around the outside here. Like it'll possibly be belted west, and then it'll wrap around in that west end and come back this way. And then we'll have 1 lane of quick wire feeding each side of this pair of assemblers. Okay, we're out of time. Ran a little over actually. Thanks for watching. Between episodes, I'll clean this up. I'll just finish laying the belts and hook up the power connections. And that'll be the end for this stage of the electronic factory. At that point, it'll be producing the Caterium ingots, the quick wire, the circuit boards, and the AI limiters. The next stage, the next floor up above us here, this is going to be high-speed connectors and computers. We need silica for the high-speed connectors. We need crystal oscillators for the computers. So the next episode will be at the crystal outpost. Hopefully, start to finish, we can get all of that done, and then shipped back to the storage hub to be then transported here, so we can get started on the fourth and probably the fifth floor in the subsequent episode, 2 episodes from now. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. Please subscribe if you haven't, and continue to hit the like button. I really appreciate that. And I'll see everyone in the next episode.